Level 1, Street Kid. Age 7, the ball is not yours. It belongs to the older boy in the red shirt, who lives 3 houses down. And he lets you play because you're fast, and because you never cry when you fall on the concrete. The pitch is a stretch of cracked asphalt behind the market. The goals are 2 pairs of sandals placed 4 meters apart. There are no referees. There are no rules about how hard you can tackle. There is only the ball, and who can keep it longest, and the sound of your own breathing. You are 7 years old, and already you understand something the other boys do not. The ball is not a tool. The ball is a conversation. You feel it through the bottom of your bare foot, the weight of it. The spin, the moment just before it moves in the direction you want. Other kids look at where the ball is. You have started, without knowing it, to look at where it's going. Your mother calls you in before dark. You don't hear her the first 2 times. This is where it starts. Not in an academy. Not in a stadium. In the last light of a Tuesday evening on broken ground, with borrowed equipment, and no audience and nothing on the line except the pure, uncomplicating joy of being better than yesterday. Nobody sees you yet. That's fine. You're not ready to be seen. Level 2, Academy Prospect. Age 12, the scouts come on a Thursday. You find out afterward. During the match itself you are only aware of the ball, and your marker, and the space behind the defensive line, that keeps opening up like an invitation. You score twice. The second goal, a turn and a left foot strike from 20 meters, is not something you planned. It simply happened, the way things happen when your body has rehearsed a movement so many thousand times it no longer needs instruction from your brain. The academy is in the city. 2 hours by bus from your home. You travel every Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday morning, sitting by the window with your boots and a drawstring bag on your lap, watching the landscape change from familiar to foreign. The training sessions are organized with a precision that is entirely new to you. Cones. Bibs. Coaches with clipboards. Sessions with names, pressing triggers, third-man runs, positional rondos. You absorb everything, but here is what the academy gives you that the street could not: competition. Real competition. Boys who are also exceptional. Boys who have also been told they are special and who are now discovering, alongside you, that special is not enough. That special is just the beginning of the actual work. You go home on the Saturday bus tired in a way you have never been tired before. It is a good tired. The tired of someone building something. You stare out the window and don't think about anything. The city fades behind you. The familiar roads return. And you feel, somewhere beneath the exhaustion, something that isn't quite certainty but is close enough to it. Level 3, Youth Team Starter. Age 17, there is a boy in your position who is better than you. His name is not important. What is important is what you do with that information. Some players see a competitor and shrink. They stop taking risks. They play it safe and blame the system when the system eventually discards them. You watch him for 3 weeks. You study the specific things he does that you don't: his body shape when receiving under pressure, the way he shifts his weight in a half second before a pass to make himself unpredictable. Then you go home and practice those things until they belong to you. By December he is no longer in your position. He has been moved to the wing to accommodate you. You don't celebrate this. Competition is not personal. It is structural. Every player around you is also fighting for the same finite number of contracts, the same finite number of minutes, the same finite number of opportunities that the world offers to young men who can play football. You understand now that talent is the entry fee, not the prize. The youth team plays in front of crowds of 60, 80, sometimes 100 people. Parents mostly. The occasional scout with a folded program and a phone on his knee. The pitches are good. A different world from the asphalt of your childhood. You tie your boots with ritual care before every match. You have started to become superstitious without admitting it. Before every game, you sit alone for exactly 4 minutes. No headphones. No phone. Just the sounds of the stadium around you. Boots on concrete. A door somewhere slamming shut. The faint noise of a groundsman's mower in the distance. You breathe slowly and remind yourself of the one thing you want to do well today. Just one thing. It's a habit that will survive 30 years of professional football. Level 4, First Team Debut. Age 19, The noise hits you like weather. 40,000 people, and the sound is not a crowd, it is a force. It has physical mass. It pushes against your chest. It enters you through the soles of your boots from the vibrating turf. You have been a substitute for 11 minutes. Standing on the touchline with the fourth official, watching the match like you are still outside it. Then the board goes up with your number. The first touch is difficult. The ball arrives faster than in training, at an angle slightly different from what you anticipated, and you miscontrol it, and it goes out of play for a throw-in. 40,000 people make a specific sound in that moment. You have heard that sound before from the stands. You did not know what it felt like from the inside. You find out. Here is what nobody tells you about debut nerves. They don't disappear. They transform. Over the following minutes they shift from panic into something else. A heightened alertness, a strange calm, as if your nervous system is burned through all its available anxiety, and arrived on the other side at pure function. Your second touch is clean. Your third starts a move that ends in a corner. You are not the story of this match. You are a footnote in the story of this match. But you are in the story, and that is everything. The manager says 3 words to you in the tunnel afterward. You will remember them for the rest of your career. Not because they were profound. Because they were practical. He was already thinking about the next match. That is the professional mindset. Not celebration. Next match. You dress quietly, and sit with your phone, and text your mother. She has been watching on a stream from home. She replies with a single word. You read it several times. Level 5. Established starter. Age 23, you have played 114 professional matches. You know this because your agent tracks it on a spreadsheet that he shows you every 3 months. The numbers mean different things to different people. To clubs evaluating a transfer. To insurance companies calculating your body's actuarial value. To journalists building a narrative about your development. To you they mean something simpler. Each number is a day of work. Each number is a training session, and a team meeting, and a recovery session, and a video analysis session, and a flight, and a hotel room, and a pre-match meal that tastes exactly like the pre-match meal from the last hotel. The professional game is a machine, and you are now fully inside it. The physical demands have sharpened everything. You carry less fat than you did at 19. Your resting heart rate is 44 beats per minute. You are monitored constantly. GPS tracking during training, sleep metrics, hydration levels, muscle fiber data from periodic testing. You have a soft tissue specialist, a nutritionist, and a sports psychologist, and you see all 3 of them regularly and without embarrassment, because this is the culture of elite sport now, and vanity about physical maintenance has no place in it. What surprises you at 23 is the mental load. Football is not just physical. It is a chess game played at sprint speed. You are expected to process tactical information in real time, pressing triggers, compactness shape, transition moments, set-piece assignments, while your lungs are at capacity and your legs are burning, and a man who is also exceptional is trying to take the ball from you. The cognitive work is relentless, and it is invisible to people watching from the stands. You have learned to be tired in ways that do not show. Level 6. Club captain. Age 27. Leadership is not a speech. This is the first thing you understand when the Armin goes on. Leadership is a Tuesday afternoon in February when it is raining, and training has already gone 90 minutes, and the manager wants to run the set-piece routine one more time, and you are the one who has to keep the mood from collapsing. Not with words. With your body language. With the way you approach the next repetition, with the same focus as the first, without visible complaint, without the sigh that every other player in the group is suppressing. They watch you. They've always watched you. But now the watching has intention. The captaincy changes your relationship to the dressing room in ways that are subtle and permanent. There are conversations you are no longer fully part of. There are frustrations that players will no longer voice in front of you the way they once would. The distance is not hostility. It is deference. But deference, you discover, is its own kind of loneliness. You manage the younger players, the 19-year-olds, who look at you the way you once looked at your own club senior players, which is to say with a mixture of admiration and careful study. You remember being them. You try to give them what you needed, and weren't always given. directness without cruelty, and standards without humiliation. The club goes through a difficult period mid-season. 3 losses in 5 games. The press conferences become exercises in control. You learn the precise architecture of a statement that acknowledges difficulty without conceding crisis. You learn to say nothing in 17 different ways. You learn that protecting the group from external noise is as tactical as anything that happens on the pitch. Your wife notices you have started sleeping less. You tell her you're fine. You are, mostly, level 7, international talisman, age 29. There are 163 million people who want you to win. The number doesn't help you. If anything, it makes the 11 men on the other side of the pitch feel more dangerous, not less. The World Cup knockout round is a particular kind of pressure that is different in quality, not just degree, from any other match you played. Club football has the texture of a long season. Losses can be absorbed. Form returns. The points table breathes. Here there is no next week. There is only now, and then nothing. You have led your country to this point across 14 months of qualifying. You have played through a hamstring warning sign that the medical staff classified as grade 1, not serious enough to rest, serious enough to mention. You have played in stadiums in hostile climates, where the heat at kickoff was 38 degrees, and the air tasted of dust and diesel. You have shaken hands with heads of state who wanted photographs, and said your name with a particular reverence reserved for symbols. You have become a symbol without deciding to. There is a way to that which has nothing to do with ego. A symbol is not a person. A symbol does not have bad training sessions, or get the details of a set piece wrong, or sit in a hotel bathroom at 1 in the morning unable to sleep. But you do all of those things, privately, while the symbol performs its public function. You have learned to live in the gap between the two. In the semi-final you score from a free kick. 64 meters from goal, slightly left of center, over the wall and into the top corner. The stadium, not your crowd, a neutral venue, goes briefly, completely silent. Then the noise arrives. The specific, rare noise of a stadium reacting to something it did not believe it would see. You don't celebrate immediately. You stand where you are for exactly 1 second and look at nothing. In that second, the crowd and the cameras and the symbol are somewhere else. It is only you and the ball, and the net, and the fact of what just happened. Then you come back. Level 8, aging veteran. Age 34, the body sends invoices now. Not debts. You always knew the debts were coming, but the specific line items arrive with more frequency and more precision than before. The left knee after rainy day matches. The Achilles tendon that stiffens overnight and requires 40 minutes of deliberate morning movement before it releases. The recovery window after a 90-minute performance that used to be 48 hours and is now closer to 72. You manage all of this with the expertise of someone who has been managing it for 15 years, without complaint, without self-pity, with the matter-of-fact discipline of a craftsman maintaining his tools. The game has changed around you. The pressing intensity at the elite level is now measured in PPDA metrics and high-press sequences per game. The physical demands on a wide midfielder in the modern game would have been classified as exceptional effort in 2010. Now, they are baseline expectation. You have adapted. But adaptation has a cost. And the cost is that you spend more time thinking than you used to. The decisions that once came from instinct now require a fraction more processing. Microseconds that compound across 90 minutes into something a sharp defender can feel. You know. They know you know. But here is what the young players don't understand yet. Experience is not nostalgia. Experience is pattern recognition at a level of compression that cannot be acquired any other way. You read the game now from information your 20-year-old self could not even perceive. The body language of a defender before he commits to a tackle. The shape of a midfield before it breaks, the moment a game is about to turn 3 passes before it turns. You are slower and you are wiser, and in football those are often in direct competition, but sometimes, on the right day, wisdom wins. You come off the bench in a crucial match, 68th minute, scored level. You touch the ball 4 times. The 4th time is a pass that splits the defense and results in a goal. You have been on the pitch for 9 minutes. This is what 17 years of football teaches you. You do not need the ball. You need the right moment. Level 9, final season, age 37, you tell only 3 people before the announcement. Your wife, your agent, your first coach, the man with the clipboard from the city academy, now retired and living in a small house near the coast, who picks up the phone on the second ring and says nothing for a long moment when you tell him. Then he says quietly that he is proud of you. You thank him. The call ends. You sit in your car in the car park outside the training ground and look at the steering wheel for a while. The final season is not what you expected. You expected elegance. A controlled ending, a valedictory tour, the kind of graceful exit that reads well in retrospect. Instead, it is complicated. The body is unreliable. The team is in transition. The young players treat you with a reverence that occasionally borders on paralysis. They are afraid to compete with you in training, afraid of the symbolism. You have to actively dismantle the mythology to get anything real from the sessions. You have to be ordinary in front of them, so they remember that ordinary is where excellence is built. You play your final home match in front of a full stadium that has been sold out for 3 months. Before the game, in the tunnel, you stand with your eyes closed for a long moment. You run through the sounds you've heard in that tunnel over the years, the boos, the banter, the pre-match tension that is its own specific frequency. You file it away. The match ends. The whistle blows. You stand in the center circle for a moment longer than necessary. Around you, the crowd is making the kind of noise that is no longer about the results. You look at the grass under your boots. You've stood on thousands of patches of grass. This one is no different. And somehow, right now, there is no grass anywhere in the world. Level 10, legacy, age 42, someone shows you a clip. It is 7 seconds long. A youth player, 14, maybe 15, is at an academy somewhere reproducing a turn you used to make. Frame perfect. The weight shift, the touch, the acceleration off the second step. He has learned it the way you once learned things. By watching. By repetition. By making someone else's instinct his own. You watch the clip twice. Then you put your phone down and look out the window. This is what legacy actually is. Not the trophies, which sit in display cases and accumulate the specific indifference of objects that have stopped being used. Not the statistics, which are real but are also just numbers that flatten the texture of 30 years of mornings and injuries, and training cone, and hotel rooms, and team buses, and all the small ordinary work that the numbers can't contain. Not even the goals, which you remember but not in the way people expect. You remember the feeling in your foot, not the crowd, not the replay. Legacy is the continuation of something into people you've never met. You work with young players now, formally, in a coaching capacity. You are not a natural teacher in the way some former players are. You don't have the easy authority, the instinctive pedagogy. What you have is patience, and specificity, and the willingness to sit with a player through the long confused middle of their development without needing them to be brilliant yet. You give them what was given to you, and some things that were not. You walk the training pitch on a gray morning, watching a group of 16-year-olds work through a rondo drill, and you feel something that is not nostalgia. Nostalgia reaches backward. This is something else, an awareness of continuity, of the game as something larger than any career inside it. The ball moves around the circle. Someone makes a mistake. The group resets. They go again. You watch. The work continues.